Have you ever looked at a character or design or character design and was like, hey neat, but put another one beside it and said, even better? Sup y'all, welcome to channel Zarovsky. I am your internet guide for the duration of this video. Zarovsky Cristal, how y'all doing? And this is Fashion Foil. First of all, shout out to my former mentor and boss, Mr. Mark E. Shelshire, artist, teacher, Strayan. He was like, Zari, you got to do videos, girl. You got to get yourself out there. Do anything. Review anything. Review toothpaste. And I was like, I don't have good tech. Well, I do now. Videos and good tech. Well, good, more of so-so tech, but it'll do. You happy now, Mr. S? Now, when I say foil, I don't mean the material your ill-advised or inexperienced household member is popping into the microwave as we speak. I mean the TV trope I'll link below. Basically, it's being complementary to another character, something like opposites bringing emphasis to one another, whether physical or character traits, attitudes, even philosophies or fighting styles. And for our first episode, The Evil Within. Fair spoiler warning for both games. Specifically, I'll be chatting about Seb and Jojo, or as I like to call them, Baste and Joseph, cause that's how Pinoys do. Now, Seb and Jojo's Asylum adventure began in 2014. The project was directed by Resident Evil creator Shinji Mikami, developed by Tango Gameworks, and published by the Skyrim people. The Evil Within is a survival horror game where the Crimson City Police Department gets lost in murderer and emaciated hoodie model Rubik's mind via his invention, STEM. I could go on how this title's either a postmodern pastiche of horror subtropes, where every level feels like a different new game, or was the outcome of some scatterbrained dork thinking horror, took the elements and tossed them like a salad, and pureed said salad in the resulting slop that can't figure out what environmental aesthetic it wants. But this isn't a review. It's a fashion comparison between Baste and Joseph and how they complement not only each other's personality but character design as well. Partners to each other, both detectives are in their 30s, with Jojo being 33 and Seb being 38. For simplicity's sake, we'll only cover The Evil Within 1 in terms of outfits. Save for pictures and a mention, we don't get to see Jojo in the sequel, and we may never see him again. Unless Tango releases a new game/DLC, cause why else would their Twitter be active? In terms of getup, their elements are pretty similar. Black men's dress shoes, slacks, belts, waistcoats. I'm saying waistcoat instead of vest as not to confuse with one of these. Plus a button-down shirt with rolled sleeves, gun holster, a tie, and their badge somewhere on their person. They each got a sentimental article, but more on that later. Here's where the similarities end though. Let's start off with our protagonist, Castiel Constantine DeWitt, who's totally original and is the only brunette, green waistcoated, lantern-toting horror video game character. Sebastian Castellanos is of mixed Hispanic descent. His hair is slicked back but still comes off as unkempt, as a strand still falls on his forehead. His facial structure is gruff and hard, littered with a scar or two. Just born that, can you even call it a 5 o'clock shadow? It's more like a stubble, like he forgot to shave in the morning. No offense, Baste, pero feeling ko he smells like a whiskey and nicotine. Dang, making the poor man sound like a damn dive bomb. What? What is that? Is that what I think it is? Was that there before? No, it wasn't. Of all the places. Did Ruby? Well, the sadist was wearing a mouth guard, so... Well... Can Rubik bite me too? Ha! Shut up! Anyway, Seb's shirt is off-white, somewhat yellowed, cause mud, blood, and visceral do that to a guy. Dinuguan. Though it might have been yellowed before immersing into STEM. The first button's undone and Baste's red striped tie hangs loosely under the striped green waistcoat. He's got a trusty utility belt with the badge. This bad boy can hold so much friggin' green gel, tell you what? I don't see where else Seb puts it. I don't want to know where else he puts it. Maybe his brown pants? I don't know. Initially, he wore a trench coat, so precious he barely washes it. A gift from his disappeared missus, Myra, at least in the Evil Within one. How did the boar say it? Let's go look.
Good day, think the shrimps from the Barbie. But then one day you walk into bar. Just drunk guy comes up to you says, I was having a blue with the miso.
I was having a blue with the mizzo and now she's gonna walk about. Walk about? Turnabout ranch. Walk about. Blue with the Myra the mizzo gone walkabout. Overall, he's your stereotypical rugged detective with cough cough issues. The guy! That's great apple juice. On to the next! Now, for the moment y'all been waiting for. Who the blokes miss? Who the birds love? Who the wingman with the plan? The deuteragonist with the mostest? Joseph, Jojo, Hola! Oh, yes, baby, see Joseph. Nothing gets the ladies wetter, nothing gets the fellas as hyped. The very mention of his name detonates ovaries within a 3-block radius. Kampai to the Canadian kumpare ni Baste. Sono chino sadame! I remember the first time I saw Jojo in Markiplier's Let's Play. I saw the leather gloves and I was like, hot damn that copkin dress. Slick like water off a duck's back. So what makes him tick being so slick? Let's find out. Joseph's look is monochromatic except for the red tie and silver accents like his tie clip and badge, which he puts on full view on his holster. Like his partner, so too is this an original look that no one else is wearing. His hair is neatly combed and if I had to guess with pomade, gel, or brill cream. Being Japanese-Canadian, his features are a lot smoother and rounder. But for a clean-shaven dude who's only 33, he has a lot more wrinkles than I initially noticed from Let's Plays. A detail I only realized myself when I started playing. So much for Asian don't raisin. He wears glasses a little wider than these, a memento from his grandfather.
I'm sorry. It's not just about being unable to see. It's about feeling normal.
I actually bought this first pair because it reminded me of the Soul Reapers of Black Butler and William, who at the time was my crush. Joseph's necktie is neatly cinched under his collar and tucked and pinned beneath his black, either really light black or 50 shades of dark gray waistcoat, which has lapels. He wears a simple belt, slacks, and leather gloves to match. Now, if you compare their palettes, Jojo has around 3 base colors, 4 or 5 if you include the accents. He's got cohesion over Bastet, but Bastet has variety. He's got patterns, stripes in this case to break monotony. Oda's got stripes on his tie too, but majority of his outfits is solid color, not counting the fabric's visual texture. I'm not saying Castellanos' palette is bad. I'm just saying Oda's is more uniform, you know, like a cop, like a knock. As for shapes, Castellanos' silhouette is blockier, more built in the chest, arms, and shoulders compared to Oda, who is more slender, almost feminine in this pose here. Work 'em hips, Jojo. Baste is the rule-bending, chain-drinking, smoke-lugging cowboy to Joseph's clean-cut, no-toting, badge-wearing professionalism. Parang sabi nga ng mama ko sa Expendables, parang ang linis-linis ng Asian tapos parang ang linis-linis ng foreigner. They're not only your classic good cop, bad cop duo, they're amigos. Have been ever since Myra was transferred from Seb's partnership at the PD, ready to take on the world by each other's side if and when they can. I say if and when because fate can be cruel and the human spirit limited. How damage manifests isn't a question of who's hurting more, it's how they're hurting. Sebastian Castellanos is a man who thought he lost everything. He thought he lost his baby girl in a fire and his wife left him. Not to get away from him, no, but to get closer to the truth. Nevertheless, his family life vanished. He turned to drink to cope, externalized in his look as hardened, sloppy, bordering on disheveled. Meanwhile, though Joseph Oda's the image of by the book, if his description's anything to go by, he's got inner damage too. Who doesn't? He's just a little at, he's just a little better at hiding it or the pain's more discreet. Is that why the tie is red? Red like a flag, like a noose he wish he could hang himself with? Joseph is a considerate, inquisitive individual, but when analyzing himself, he's critical. It kind of reminds me of me when I look at somebody with mental issues and they're either struggling or coping or seeking help for the first time. To me, you're a strong, brave person, and I think it's great that you're working to improve your life. But when the time comes to look at the mirror, I think I have depression. Bit, wag. Depressionin mo mukha mo, nag-inarte ka lang, tamad ka lang, walang kwentang anak. So yeah, Joseph keeps his feels in and doesn't let them get his work. Seb claims his drinking doesn't interfere with his detecting. So why isn't Jojo the lead of the story? Well, in the gameplay, Seb is somewhat stoic most of the time, focused even, determined to figure out what's going on.
Doc. Doc, what the hell is going on?
There's no time. I need to figure out how to reverse this if we're going to stop him.
Literally, hell could be burning around him and he couldn't get any more blase.
What is it with you?
Okay, maybe not as blase. Anyway, this could be a storytelling flaw where Bastet may come off as bland to some, but there's a bonus to this non panicky demeanor his solid resolve. Despite probably drinking his lungs to deterioration, despite zombie chases making him run his smoker's liver off, great initial stamina there, IMO, cheeky joke. His core stands firm. Find out what's going on, get Leslie, get Rubik, and get out. As for Jojo, you can only bottle up your emotions for so long. In game, he's really feelsy, you know what I mean? Like Seb, he gets to show his range of emotion as well. Seb's not flat out poker faced. But let's say Jojo's a level above that when it comes to feelings. Whether optimistic, suicidal, guilty that he could have hurt someone, etc. It's evident Oda has fractures in his psyche that may not manifest that much on the outside, but being in STEM drags them out. STEM exposure exacerbates the problem. I'd like to think that his friendship and partnership with Castellanos has served well in balancing each other out. But we never got that this Oda DLC. Tango por qué? ¿Por qué tango? Now, all jokes and references aside, it's usually a wise move for industries to go with what's familiar in pop culture. Sometimes what's classic is a classic because it holds up. It's safe. These two palettes are harmonious and the colors jive well for each respective palette. And the general shirt, waistcoat, pants ensemble is available for revision, versatile to interpretation, and flexible to reinvention. It can be costume or prêt-à-porter, it can be modern, it can be western, Victorian, Renaissance, hipster, formal, casual, etc. Sup y'all? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. This is my first video essay and was super fun to make. I absolutely adore the franchise. Rubik is my baneful bae, and hey, if you like what I do and want to see more, pop by my coffee page and or my Redbubble link below. What do y'all think? Is Jojo's ensemble gray or black? Cry discourse and let's slip the dogs of war, and by war I mean debate, in the comments below. To play us out, we've got Tatiana Gutierrez. Nurse! Thanks, girl. You the best. This has been Zarovsky Crystal. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to get crystallized. And ciao for now. What do you mean there's a JoJo teaser?